So, so the midweek games come thick and fast. FA Cup is over, and Arsenal have got Cardiff City at home in a very big game. I personally feel we all know about the news about Salah and how he's gone missing, and the dreadful news behind that. So it's going to have a really big impact on this game. I personally feel Cardiff City, especially, they're going to come out the blocks. I feel very quickly. Actually, they're going to want to make a bit of an impact this game, and for us personally, we need to hold out that storm and really put this team away. As we know, Cardiff City are third from the bottom. They had a major loss away from home against Newcastle United the other week, where they lost 3-0. And, the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United are all floating around us as well. And we need to get these 3 points, the major 3 points. We do have Man City away from home coming up very shortly on the Sunday. And we need to get these 3 points and just kind of stay with the likes of Chelsea and Manchester United, because Manchester United, Chelsea, they do have a fair few easy games coming up for them, so we need to stay with the pack. Looking at us overall, we have won 3 out of our 5 past games. We had a big win at home to Chelsea, so that should be, that should have a bit of confidence going through us, and we're going to want to make a big statement after that major loss against Manchester United last week. So overall, looking at Cardiff as well, they've had a fair few losses as well. They can leapfrog the likes of Newcastle if they get the win. So for them, it's going to be a major game for them. They've lost their last 6 away outings against us, and we should be the likely runners to win this game. Looking at the team, though, I feel like we've gone with a totally different sort of setup. I've gone with the likes of Leno in goal. He's the first team goalkeeper. Not a check. He checked, just cannot get into the squad now, man. Leno is playing very well at the moment for us. He played well against Chelsea the other week, and I feel like he will retain his place in there. In the right back position, I've gone with Carl Jenkinson. As we all know, Bellerin is obviously out for the season, and I'm not a big fan of Lichtsteiner at the moment. He just doesn't have that sort of filter it in the Premier League. He doesn't have that sort of pace, and he's just not at it. Defensively, he's poor as well, and he's all over the place. So I feel like Carl Jenkinson, I feel like he'd be a good asset for us going forward. He's got a little bit of pace. Obviously, going forward, it doesn't have that much of an impact, but he's all right. He can sit in that right back position until hopefully the likes of Bellerin can come back, or we can pick up a brand new right back. So we need to sort someone out in there in that right back position. Left hand side of the field, very controversial. I've gone with the likes of Nacho Monreal. Kolasinac, I don't feel like we're going to need him for this sort of game. We've got a big game coming up against Man City away from home, and I feel like Monreal needs to get a bit more game time under his belt. It's been a while since he last played a few games, and defensively he's a lot more secure. Obviously, Arsenal, we have a lot of defensive issues. We've got a lot of players out for the season. The likes of Socrates is going to be out to the end of February. We do have the likes of Koscielny, who is out. He's going to be out for a while with his I think it's not a broken jaw, but he does have a lot of bruising around the jaw, and he's going to be out for a while. So I feel like Nacho Monreal will be perfect down there. He won't get down those edges, but he can play it through to the likes of the midfield and maybe get something going with the likes of Iwobi, who'd be very key in this sort of game. Looking at the 2 defensive midfielders, I've gone 2 defensive halves. I've gone with the likes of Mustafi, and I've gone with Mavropanos. Mavropanos is the key player for this game. He's got that pace, and hopefully he can get it out from the back and play it through to the likes of Guendouzi and Xhaka. Mustafi is going to be another key player as well in this team for this game. Mustafi's got to show a lot more leadership in this game. He can't get too sloppy. He can't get too complacent. He has to hold that ball up, and he's got to just show a lot more security about him when he's in that defensive role. He can't play such a high line because the likes of Junior Hoilett for Cardiff can get forward. They can hurt us on the break. Bobby Reid's another key player for them. He does have that pace, and he can hurt us. They do have the likes of Patterson, who's a big, strong player as well, so we need to be secure at the back. Midfielders wise, I've gone with the likes of Guendouzi and Xhaka. I feel like Torreira, I feel like he does need a rest for this game. He did play a key game in the FA Cup against Manchester United, and we do have Manchester City coming up very shortly. So I feel like we need to keep him on the bench, potentially bring him on, or just keep him out for this game and bring him on in the Man City game. Xhaka, he has to start this game. I want to see a bit more from him because he was poor in the FA Cup, I personally feel, against Manchester United. And I want to see a bit more of him. I don't want to see him keep playing around these sides, man. It's getting ridiculous. Got to get forward to the likes of Aubameyang. Get it to Ozil. Ozil's another key player in this game, I feel. But Guendouzi as well, he's another key player. I like him because he gets forward. He always looks for the extra pass. He always looks for the likes of Iwobi and maybe get something going. He likes to have a hit every now and then as well. And Guendouzi's got a bit more energy about him. He didn't play much against Manchester United, so hopefully he's going to be fit, ready to go against this Cardiff City outfit. Attacking midfield, we all know it's going to be Ozil. I feel like Ramsey, he needs to rest as well. Ozil is just not getting enough game time, in my opinion, for 350k a week. Big player, big name player. He has to be playing these games, man. This is a big game for him. This is the sort of game where Cardiff City, they might start off very quickly, but they're going to slowly drop deeper and deeper. They're going to play more of a defensive line, and this is the key player for us. He's the sort of player who can get that pass out and really change the game. So I feel like Ozil, key player for this game. He has to start this game. Looking onto the edges, I feel like Iwobi needs to be starting this game. He's a big player for us. He gets forward, always looking for that extra pass, like Lacazette and even the likes of Kolasinac. But there's going to be no Kolasinac in there, so I probably expect him to get down those sides and try and maybe nip it into the far corner. Maybe look for the likes of Lacazette, who's going to come in from the sides here and far post. Even Aubameyang is going to come from the far post as well. So that's going to be key for that game. Iwobi, big player, but I want to see a bit more from him on that finishing touch. I feel like sometimes he can go for goal, but he hesitates too much. It's very obvious in the game, and he has to do it a lot more coming up against Cardiff City. That would be a big improvement if he can do that. Going forward as well, we've got the likes of Aubameyang on the right-hand side. Another major player for us. It's a great game for him to get a few goals under his belt. You know, one of the leading top goal scorers of 14 goals, and this is a great game for him to get a few more. This is a game for him to probably lead the line, the likes of Lacazette, and maybe probably play as a two-striker combination either side here. And I think that'd be very key for us. Even if he comes around on the far post with lots of Iwobi cutting in, that'd be very good. But Ozil, obviously a very key player. He can get those balls to the likes of Aubameyang, and we can hurt him. Obviously, Cardiff City, they do have big players in the air, but they're very slow, a lot of them. The likes of Bamba, he's a big player in the air, but he can be caught with the likes of Aubameyang's pace, as well as, I forget his name, Madison, I think. I'm not too sure. Can't think his name, the other centre-half for Cardiff City. But they do have some key players in there that can hurt us in the air, but they don't have the pace, and that's where we can really hurt them. Luckily, we do have the likes of Carl Jenkins, and he does have a bit more pace to his game, and hopefully he can get forward a little bit more, because he doesn't do it enough, but it's the sort of game where we can, you can hopefully get a bit forward a little bit more and hurt him. Because Cardiff City, they don't have the pace in defence, but in the air, that's where they do hurt us. The likes of the corners, the free kicks, that's where we can be hurt. Last time outing against Cardiff City, we did get inflicted a bit of pain against them. The likes of Camarasa, a key player for them, whip that ball in, and all of a sudden, all it takes is the Cardiff City head to get on the back of the ball and hit it in. So a big key statistic or factor looking into that game with the likes of Cardiff City. But yeah, let me know, guys, down below on what you thought about this formation, and let me know down below who you think will start. My score predictions are going to be a 4-1 win to Arsenal. I feel like it's going to be quite a cagey affair at the start, and hopefully it should spread out a little bit more. Cardiff City, they're going to be wanting to go for that win. They've had a fair few losses on the road now. I think it's 3 in a row now. They're going to want to get a goal under their belt. I probably expect them to go for the draw this game, but you know what? You don't know what you're going to get from them. Obviously, from what's happened to the tragic news of Salah, they probably might want to go all out and really, show a lot more respect to their fans and really take this Arsenal side on. But I feel like, we do have a lot of defensive issues at the moment. I feel like, going forward, we do have the goals under our belt. Lacazette, I feel like it's going to be another very key player for this game, as well as the likes of Ozil. They're two very important players, I personally feel, for this game. And let me know, guys, down below of your key players for this game. But yeah, that's my score predictions. That's my teams. And I'll bring out with you after the game what we thought about the game. And we'll bring it on with Man City. Speak to you guys soon.